Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Fine, yeah.
Where are
You
you,
got some
man?
folk there. I mean, it sounds like a bit of an audience, right?
Yeah, we have a crowd here.
Yeah, it's a live show.
It's a live show, and
Nice.
we've got 3,000 people here.
No way. That's incredible.
No, it's
just
just
kidding.
kidding. It's just the three of us.
Yeah. We are noisy guys. So this is a
Good.
fake live interview, Alex. So we will fake everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
But people tomorrow will think it's live.
Yeah.
Right.
Dale,
The new life. Ok, bueno, empiezas tú, Alex.
Ya estamos.
dale.
Ok.
Wait, ¿me está
Ok.
grabando?
Estamos grabando nosotros, Dani, directo en OBS.
¿Y no necesitan el permiso ni nada?
No, todo bien. Gracias, Dani.
Ok.
Ok, listos.
Va. Ahora sí, ya estamos con el invitado del día de hoy, Alex Kapranos, de
Nada
FRANZ
más.
Ferdinand. Nada más y nada menos. Esto sí es un lujo.
Este sí es el canal de las estrellas.
Este sí es el canal de las estrellas. Alex, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Fine, welcome to the show. And, well, you've been in Mexico tons of times, so how's your Spanish?
My Spanish is a little ropey.
¿Cómo estás?
I feel pretty good. How do you feel?
See, well, you understand everything. That's important. I mean, whenever you come to Mexico, can you go to a restaurant and order a glass of water?
I can point.
Do you remember how many times you have been here?
9?
Oh,
Wow.
you already
Okay,
pay,
that's a very precise number, though.
yeah, you
Yeah.
already pay taxes in Mexico.
Right. Yes.
So where are you, Alex? Where are you now?
I'm in the United States at the moment. We're touring around here just now. I'm heading up to Washington, D.C., where we've got our next gig. We've been playing in Texas. We're in New Orleans. It's pretty good.
That's awesome. And you're coming to Mexico City soon, on September the 3rd, to play Palacio Los Deportes, which is one of the biggest venues in the city. Are you excited?
I can't wait. You know, I love Mexico. I love Mexico City. And the last show that we played before the lockdown was at Corona Capital.
Yeah.
And remembering that show kept me sane during the dark moments of the lockdown.
Oh, wow.
Of course, it was an amazing show. We were there. And
Oh, yeah?
yeah. Well, I've seen FRANZ Ferdinand, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, something like that. And it's always amazing. And I think Mexico City must be like a really big city for you guys, because the fan base here is huge for rock and roll, isn't it?
Yeah, we definitely feel it, and there's always been like a huge warmth from Mexico City towards the band, and we feel it now. Like Audrey was commenting like on the amazing welcome she's had from the fans, and she's never even been there yet, you know. And those shows are explosive. You know, they're some of the best shows that any band could play in the world, and to get to go there, yeah, it's the greatest experience.
Do you have your stomach medicine ready for next month?
My stomach's pretty tough. I'm trying to keep a bit of space for all the food that I want to eat. Like I love Mexican food, and yeah, I'm desperate to get back and have some.
You have a cooking background, right?
I used to be a chef, that's right.
Yeah.
And Bob used to be a chef as well. We used to work in a restaurant together.
Me too. I feel like the chef...
This is Mario, the chef. La Bestia's chef.
Nice.
No, I didn't compete the career, but I feel like it's an outsider profession, you know. When I didn't fit everywhere, so I started like studying chef. I don't know if for you was the same.
Definitely. I always felt that the world of the kitchen and the world of rock and roll are very similar. It kind of they attract the sort of freaks and misfits that can't exist in a 9-to-5 job, you know, like, and the kind of, how can I put it, like the substance abuse and drinking that you find in a kitchen can often shame a backstage.
I used to have a French teacher that he was always drunk, you know. It's like it was funny.
I think that's just being French.
It's part of the other country.
But
Yeah, they like a glass of wine.
Whenever I think of the kitchen, it also reminds me of the stage crew and the stage manager who are always pissed, like everyone's in a hurry behind and backstage and everyone's mad and everyone's yelling. It's similar to kitchen, isn't it?
It is. There are a lot of similarities. It's quite a hard environment. It's a really hard working environment as well. And it's a strange combination of people who are really wild and totally disciplined at the same time.
Yeah.
Like if you think of the work that's done backstage and the crew's work, it's physically very, very tough. And I also think it's the same in a kitchen as well. You've got to be pretty tough to exist in that world.
I bet. So, do you think cooking prepared you for rock and roll? Or nothing ever prepares you for rock and roll?
Oh yeah,
rock
I
and
think
roll?
after seeing what I saw in kitchens, I was completely unshockable.
Alex, I was listening to so you're now a radio DJ. I just found that.
Sort of.
So now you're a radio
Starting
DJ.
now.
You have the Alex Kapranos show, and I was listening to a little bit of it, and it caught my attention. Besides your interview with Johnny Marr, that you were playing some new bands like the Buck Club and Porridge Radio. And I'm curious, what's your opinion on new music and new rock bands? Do you listen to new music, and how do you discover new music?
Yeah, I do. I like to listen to new bands, and I'm glad you mentioned those two. The Bug Club and Porridge Radio are great bands. When I'm in London or when I'm in Paris or back in Glasgow, I'll always speak to people and find out, often from my friends, like word of mouth, like what's exciting, what's happening at the moment, or like recommendations from friends online, that sort of thing. That's usually the way I find out. Listening to you as well, I have my favorite DJs too. Like I found out about the Bug Club listening to Mark Riley's radio show. Like Mark Riley's a great DJ. I'd say he's the equivalent of John Peel in the UK nowadays. He's brilliant.
No, you can add the La Bestia radio because
Yeah, that's actually
Right.
we got some news for you. You're next radio DJ. You're starting next week.
Oh, right, okay. Did I get the job? I'm passing the interview right now. I knew it was going to be an interview. I didn't know it was going to be one like that.
It's both. But you were part of a very interesting music scene when you started out. You were in at the same moment there was the Yeah, the Strokes, Interpol, and of course you guys, and it was a very important music and a very important moment in music history. Do you think that is happening again? Do you think there's something similar happening at the moment?
I feel there's quite a lot of parallels between what's going on now and what was happening when our band came along, and those are the bands that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because I feel now and then there was a real dominance of pop music in the charts, like kind of pop music that I personally found a little bit boring. And when you're surrounded by this kind of music, you react against it, and you want to make something that's exciting and like.
Lo perdimos.
se congeló al carajo.
No, pero ahorita vuelve.
Ahorita vuelve.
Al parecer tiene peor internet que nosotros.
Sí, y seguro está en un hotel esos fancy.
Ajá, sí. No, pero en esos hoteles el internet falla
sí,
cabrón. Así
Falla
es como
duro,
que-
falla
Ahí está.
duro. Sí.
Alex, you're
Alex,
back.
we lost you, but you're back.
Oh, right. Oh, no. How much did he miss?
Like 20 seconds.
Yeah. The last 20 seconds.
All right. So I was just saying like how. Did you get the bit where I was talking about the parallels between the past and the present?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying like I feel that it's similar now to then. Like I feel that there's a lot of exciting bands beginning to come through, and I do see bands like Yard Act or the Bug Club or Los Bichos coming through, and yeah, it feels like we're on the cusp of a new movement, and we're going to see some decent rock and roll that gets the heart pumping and the blood flowing, which is what we all want.
I didn't know you are that much into cumbia.
I love cumbia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I guess getting to tour in Latin America allowed me to collect a lot of records over the years, and that's what made me work with Los Bichos. Like they were supporting a friend of mine's band from New York called Bodega,
Awesome.
and they said, I know you love cumbia. Like, wait till they check this band out. You're gonna really love them. And sure enough, I did.
You're gonna love a Latin band called La Gran Locumbia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
A friend of us, but they didn't record anything. It's like
They
a
only
band.
have one single.
They only have one single out, but they are already hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
You're
really
gonna love
An
them.
album?
We should party with them.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, I'm up for that.
You
They
will
just-
remember it.
They just released a single, and they are gonna put out an album, and it's gonna be exciting. They're great live.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's good, man.
traveling through the world.
Are they based in Mexico City?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're Colombian and
But-
Venezuelan, but they're based in Mexico City.
Oh, that's cool. Mexico City's got quite a scene going on at the moment, hasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it seems to have a lot going on,
It's a
right?
hot spot.
Well, yeah, Mexico City. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because we have some great bands. We have some great rock and punk bands and alternative bands, but we have more bad bands than good bands thanks to the mainstream music industry. You know, like Mexico's biggest rock bands aren't even rock, or alternative rock bands aren't even alternative, or aren't even rock. So people try to copy that, but the good bands are really, 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 really good. Has
But
that
the-
ever
but yeah,
I'm
happened?
glad to hear there's some good bands in there as well. I mean, it's the same at any time, in any
Yeah.
place. There's good stuff and maybe not so good stuff.
Has it ever happened to you that you think like, okay, the best things are happening in the underground?
Sometimes, and then you get bands coming through. You know,
Yeah.
like it's interesting. Like when you see the underground come overground, like because all those bands that you mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, they all start off as underground bands, and
Yeah.
that's where we started off as FRANZ FERDINAND. We used to play in abandoned warehouses, and we would squat them, and like we would play until they got busted by the police, and it was very much an underground scene that we came from, and I think the mainstream is always better when it has those characters that have come from the underground.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Alex, we lost you again. Otra vez lo
Did
volvimos
I
a
cut out
perder.
again?
Okay, now
Yeah.
you're back again.
You're back
You're
again.
back. You're back. But it's interesting now that you mentioned that
Man,
there was we have one last time for one quick question, and then we have to do a different segment of the interview. But now that you mention it, we were yesterday at an event in Mexico City where lots of alternative and underground bands and rock bands go to sell their merchandise, and there was this band which is made by a big manager. They're not even musicians. They all come from TikTok and dress as rock stars and don't even write their songs and don't play their instruments. So I play in a punk band, so I started yelling at them like, hey, fucking posers, and people were like, dude, what are you doing? But I thought it was sad that the industry, focuses on that kind of music, and like the people who actually play the instruments and come from the underground aren't getting any money from labels, aren't getting any help from labels. So does that happen? Do you ever think about that? Like, okay, Machine Gun Kelly, who isn't even a musician, rock musician, is getting like a lot of coverage and a lot of help from the music industry when it should be some other kind of bands. Do you ever think about that?
I mean, I've seen that guy's name. I don't really know anything about his music. I don't think it's for me. But you're right. The labels do seem to be more obsessed with social media than actual music itself.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like social media can be a great medium for people to tell the world about what their music is. But you're right as well. It's also like a horrendous media for vacuous posers who have nothing to give it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I find that side of it a little bit depressing.
Yeah.
In fact, not a little bit. It's intensely depressing. It's so vacuous and ultimately hollowing for the people involved in it as well. Could you imagine living one of those lives? No, thank you.
Yeah.
So
no,
sad.
Thank you.
And I always wonder what is gonna happen to them in 10 years, because like the real bands are gonna keep playing, but those guys, I don't know.
That's their problem.
Maybe you'll get one that's like the Monkees. It's not like a new thing because like the Monkees started off and they weren't playing any of their instruments, and then they went on to do something good. So maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe there will be something wonderful coming out. What do you reckon?
I hope something good comes out of it. But yeah, Alex, now we have to do another segment of this interview, which is kind of a silly questions segment. It's called Preguntas Cómodas, which translates to comfortable questions. And you'll have to answer like whatever comes to your mind first. Are you ready, Alex?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, first one is, what's on your Spotify?
What's on my Spotify? I think I don't know what I've been listening. No, it won't be Neil Young. He's not on there anymore. I can't think what the last thing I was listening to. Sorry.
No worries.
I don't like Spotify.
Next one is, did MTV kill rock and roll?
It just changed it.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one. If your last name was Kardashian, who would you date? Pete Davidson, Kanye West, or Travis Barker?
I don't really know who any of these people are.
Better.
You are so lucky. Okay, next one. I bet these two people you know who they are. Who's got the best hairstyle? Boris Johnson or Donald Trump?
Neither. Get them both in the bin.
Okay, next one is, what do you prefer better? 90s or the 2000s?
2000s. I wasn't a big 90s fan.
Okay, what do you prefer better? Telecaster Deluxe or Gibson Special?
Oh, Telecaster Deluxe by a long way.
Next one is, what do you prefer better? The Alex Kapranos show or the Ellen DeGeneres show?
I've never seen Ellen's show, but yes, I'm sure her show's better. She's been doing it longer than me.
What do you prefer better? Harry Styles or Dua Lipa?
I mean, I think they're both actually very good musicians, but I think I prefer Harry Styles.
Okay, what do you prefer better? Alex Turner or Julian Casablancas?
I mean, I see they're both on a level with each other. They're both great singers.
What do you prefer better? Nardwar or Howard Stern?
Nardwar, by a long way. Nardwar is the king.
Okay, what do you prefer better? Ren and Stimpy show or Beavis and Butthead?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I would say just by a cat's whisker, Ren and Stimpy.
Okay, salsa or cumbia?
Cumbia.
No.
Disappointing, Alex.
What's
I'm
worst?
so sorry.
What's worst? Grammys or billboards?
It don't really concern me.
What's worse? Machine Gun Kelly or Youngblood?
I think they live in the same universe.
Okay, next one is overrated or underrated. First one is
Okay.
Tame Impala.
Underrated.
Next one is Britpop.
Underrated.
Next one is guitar solos.
Overrated.
Next one is Vans shoes.
Vans shoes. Underrated. You know, like it's you communicate so much of yourself through your footwear.
And the last one is overrated or underrated stand-up comedy.
I don't know if it's either. Neither.
Okay, and one last one. Anthony Bourdain or Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, Bourdain, by a long way. He's the rock and roll chef, man.
Totally, I agree with you.
Thanks, Alex. So we will ask you to record some IDs for La Bestia, if that's fine with you.
Of course.
Okay, first one is, hi, this is Alex Kapranos from Franz Ferdinand, and why the fuck aren't you listening to La Bestia Radio?
Hi, this is Alex Kapranos from Franz Ferdinand, and why the fuck are you not listening to La Bestia Radio?
Awesome.
Cool. Next one is, hi, this is Alex Kapranos, and you're listening to our new album. It's Hits on the Head, right? On La Bestia Radio.
Hits to the head, yeah.
Hits to the Head, yeah.
I love it. Hey, this is Alex Kapranos from Franz Ferdinand, and you are listening to our new album, Hits to the Head, on La Bestia Radio.
I love how